Or do you think that you guys could handle, let's pretend, and maybe this could be an idea out there, that let's pretend they wanted to do a show about the two of you and follow you guys around with the camera. Do you think that that would, hinder or affect your relationship in a negative way? Or do you think that you guys are just on such solid ground that you guys can do your thing in private or you can do it in public, and either way you guys are good?
That one, choice B. We're both grounded, and we met on Big Brother, and that's like televised. I don't know, we're just like good friends, and we're boyfriend girlfriend. I think any situation we're in, it would be the same no matter what. Like, what you see is what you get.
Well, and then you got to think too. Everyone thinks like, oh, they're such good people in and out. Like when you were reading those messages, I was like kind of smirking at Jordan. Like, we're a couple. Sometimes I'm like, you're an idiot, and she's like, you make me sick. That's how it goes. It's not all roses all the time, but it's, we try our best to get through it, and I think through all those things, we definitely grew together as a couple. Not necessarily saying you have to tape us all the time, but, if they did do something like that, which I'm not implying anything, so nobody get crazy, but if you did, you definitely,
see what you get.
Yeah, we are who we are, you know what I mean? I don't think we're scared to hide who we are by any means, but so I don't think it really would matter either way.
Well, and you also know that's why everybody loves you guys so much. They love that you guys are authentic and very accessible as people, because everybody can sort of see themselves in you guys. You guys aren't, living some fairy tale life up on top of the mountain that nobody can reach. You guys are living the way that everybody else is living, and of course, in doing so, everybody's rooting for you guys to succeed. So that's why you guys are so loved. So while you think you're just being yourselves, which is true, that's actually what's so endearing, is that you're not putting on a show and you're not behaving basically for the cameras.
You little cutie, Bob.
Oh, don't make me blush. Love Kahlua 59. I actually love that she wrote, "Thank you so much, Bob, Jeff, and Jordan, for doing this. We appreciate." I love that part. Jeff, can you tell us, do you have any project in the works for the summer? And if so, can you talk about it?
I do. With that production company, Around the World Productions, that put me on, Around the World. That's a good name for the company.
Uh-huh.
We're working on a couple of projects, nothing sold or, going into production or anything, but you know how it is. You're always trying to pitch a new show or some new idea, and, hopefully somebody likes one of the shows that we're pitching, and, something will happen. If not, you just got to keep trying and, keep on doing what you do each day.
And Jordan, what about you for this summer? There are rumors that you might return to Super Pass. Is that true?
No, I don't know. We'll see. Right now I'm just doing, I'm going to do school, and my mom's boyfriend got us a place at the beach for a week in Hilton Head, so we're going to go do that in July, so I'm really excited about that. Jeff's coming with us, and it'll be my brother, my sister, her boyfriend, and so that'll be fun, and I'm planning on making a trip up to Illinois to go see my grandparents, and nothing else.
Will you guys be watching Big Brother 13?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
This is like the first, because I didn't get to watch, I watched the beginning of last season before I had to leave, and then I couldn't watch it anymore. So this one, once you watch one thing, you think you don't have time for it, and you watch one episode, then you're stuck. Me with Jersey Licious.
Bob, do you watch Mob Wife? Have you seen that show yet?
No, I saw the commercial for it, and I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, my God, I'm hooked on it. I love that show.
I forgot about that. I wanted to watch it. Is it way deep into it? Is it through the season already?
No, there's only been 4 episodes, I think. It's good. I like it because I like things that are completely different. They're complete opposite of me, and I love seeing they're really hard and all about the mafia, and their boyfriends or husbands are in prison, and I don't know. I like the show.
Oh, I need a marathon. I got to get up in there. Yeah, I forgot about that.
And don't they were talking about it in the chat room earlier this afternoon when you were wondering what it is they've been talking about all day. And I did see them talking about Mob Wives, and I was like, I can't believe anybody's actually watching that. And now here you are.
Out of Jordan's out. That's why. It's she's never, even when she comes to Chicago, the girls, just the neighborhood I'm in, and she's so blown away by it. So when she sees something like that, she's really blown away because people, like, where we're at right now is just,
it's so not.
It's so not that.
It's more like, I can't even think of it. I was trying to think of, like, what's the vanilla word? Like, vanilla wives. Let's just call it that,
Yeah.
vanilla. If yours
Country
would be like
wives.
vanilla wives, yeah. Let's see, blah, 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 blah. Does it still, McCoy17, does it still shock either of you how much you're loved by your fans?
Yeah, I mean, after 2 years of, being off of Big Brother, I would think, like, okay, you have your 15, well, we already have had our 15 minutes of fame, but, I mean, you would think that people, like, forget about you, especially when you're not on TV constantly or, like, doing things. And, yeah, I would think people would forget about us, but it's nice.
I don't know. I still don't like the word fans. I think it's just people who watched us and connected with us. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know, fan is a weird word.
That's why I couldn't agree more. That's why I had to find the medium ground. That's why I call mine my baubles, because I spell my name Baub. So I like baubles because it's like jewels. But it's that in between, because I would never feel like anybody is my fan. But there's it's also they're not necessarily. Some of them have become my friends. But for the most part, they're not necessarily my friends because I don't have any, mutual interaction with them. So I completely agree with that really sort of like awkward. It really comes with you don't want to put yourself on a pedestal, but you have to sort of name the relationship.
They're appreciators.
Yeah, there you go.
You have a weekly show, you know what I mean? So I think it's a little different. You think you could have fans, I think sports players have fans of their own, that. When you're living it, it's a weird line to cross to say, like, yeah, my fans, like, really, I don't know. It's touchy. Let's just leave it at that.
Did you hear what Mandy just said, though? That
what?
you can call them your appreciators. You know how you use the word appreciate?
Get it? Come on.
I get it.
Appreciators. Yeah, like they're your appreciators.
I'll think of a good one.
We'll keep working on it.
Yeah, we'll keep working on it.
It's a work in progress.
Also, McCoy wanted me to add on a side note that he tried Hoegaarden beer. It was good, but not that good to spend $40, so he's going to stick with Budweiser or Smithwick's if he wants it imported. There you go.
Bucks.
What's that?
For Hoegaarden?
He
They
said
must live in a little community. Because you could get it, like, at some, like, they have, like, those world liquor stores and stuff. Or not even world. I know you could get other places. I know what they're talking about because I did my fair share of drinking around the world as well, so I got to try a lot of beers.
And so, well, there you have it. Everybody's dying to know any plans. First of all, of course, not that it's anybody's business, so you guys don't have to answer, but of course, I'm doing my part in asking because the appreciators are wanting to know. Are we going to start living together anytime soon, and are we going to live in California ever?
That's a good question. We're kind of brainstorming that as well. We're definitely gonna make a move. We're gonna be making a move soon. But we don't know if it's Chicago, depending on what happens with my production team that I'm working with and my job here, or her job, her school. So we're kind of between the three places right now, and that's something that we're actually still figuring out.
When are you set to graduate, Jordan? Or like, how much more do you have?
I would have, I applied anyway to one of the programs. So if I get in, I find out this summer if I get in or not. And if I do, I would have just a year.
Great.
We're working there. We got to make a move soon, though.
Yeah.
And Mandy and I, you've got 2 votes for California right here. Los Angeles. Let's be specific before you end up in like San Francisco or something, or San Diego. Mandy and I, 2 votes Los Angeles. Cheryl O. Jordan, this is a question for you. What is one thing that Jeff does or says that makes you laugh every time?
It's something.
There's so many she can't get right now.
I know. Whenever, Jeff can't stand if somebody tries to rip him off, and and he's always like, oh, I'm going to bash him, like on the phone. He's like, I'm going to kill him. And, like, he'll, like, play, like, tough guy. And one time he was on normally he does, like, kill him, and, like, until he gets his money back. And I guess it was something with the airline ticket. They messed up, and he was like, oh, I'm going to get my money back and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm going to kill him. So he calls. Ticket. Oh, it was my ticket. That's it. So he called me back, and I was like, did you kill him? And he was like, no, actually, it was this girl. And he was like, she was really nice. And he said he was mad, and so he, like, gave in to her. And, like, things like that cracks me up because I love hearing his stories because Jeff will get, like, all, like, worked up about it, and, like, his like, veins in his neck start sticking out, and you can see, like, he gets, like, so mad, and he starts, like, his hands start going everywhere, and he's like, I don't know, and then his, like, Chicago accent really comes out when he gets really mad. I don't know. It just makes me laugh every time.
Adorable.
And what about you, Jeff? What is the one thing that Jordan says or does that makes you laugh every time?
She does this thing all the time. She's like, when she's really sad and she misses me, she's like, "You still love me?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Stop." Like, I didn't say it good, but the way she says it, because I'm like, she wants to get all lovey-dovey, and I'm like watching a Bulls game or something, and she's like, "You still love me?" And I'm like, not paying attention. I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "No." And she's like, "No, stop." So I do it on purpose now all the time.
Or whenever, like, not being gross, but, I have to say this, Jeff will poot or something, and he'll be like, "What's that?" And I go, "A bullfrog."
That's hilarious.
I'm like with my buddies or like around my family or something, and I'm like, she's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna do this." I'm like, "Don't be a whore."
Yeah.
Like between us, we know I'm just joking. So I'm like, "Don't be a little whore out there." And so we're like, "Oh my God, why'd you say that?" I'm like, "No, we're just joking." And then she starts laughing like on the other one.
That's fantastic.
So cute.
Here's a good question. What do you feel is the most important quality in making your long distance relationship work so well?
Communication.
That's
communication.
Yeah,
is that hard?
It is at times. This last time before we went to Miami, we skipped a trip in between because she had something going on with school, and she couldn't make it in the weekend she was supposed to, so it stretched to like a month almost.
Over a
month.
And
we didn't see each other, and it was getting kind of tense,
I think we went. It was really weird. Like one day we were arguing, and we didn't go a day and a half or 2 days without talking to each other, and we always talk like 5 times a day. Like I'll just call him to tell him a random story, and then or he'll do the same for me. And like it felt like I hadn't talked to him in like a week, and then I called him or I texted him. Or did I text you?
I texted you good night.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Yeah. And then you played tough guy the next day, and then you tried calling me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was watching American Idol, and I was like, I'm going to text him. But then I was like, oh, he'll text me back. He sure didn't, not till the next day.
He sure didn't.
And so when he texted me, I was like, I figured you were just trying to make me sweat it out. But I think that's the only time we've ever gotten to, like, a big, big fight. I mean, we bicker a lot, but that was the only time, like, we've really, really fought.
If that's the only time, you guys are doing good.
Exactly.
There's something here. Let's see. Jeff is just again. This is the stuff I don't understand. How do they know that your favorite karaoke song is the Humpty Dance? Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Because you know what? I was when I was off this little island in Thailand, and we went, and I was with that guy Supan that I told you about who took care of me, like over there. So we went to this little island. I forgot where it was. It was like the beach. It was the movie The Beach. It was crazy. Anyways, blah blah blah. We had some drinks, and there was a band playing, and I was just in that mood, and I just jumped up there and sang the Humpty Dance, and he videotaped it on his phone, and I guess he posted it on his Facebook, so a lot of people got to see it. But if I'm in the mood for karaoke, I always do the Humpty Dance.
Awesome.
And Jordan, what is your favorite song to perform on karaoke?
Oh, I never sing karaoke.
Do Grease.
Oh, yeah, we did do Grease one time. We actually did it at a bar in L.A., and the people there were so good at singing, and then me and Jeff got up there.
In Santa Monica.
Yeah, and we weren't the best.
What did you sing?
Grease Lightning. Summer Lovin', that's right.
Summer Lovin', that's perfect. Do you think? I guess I'm assuming this would be kind of like the Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey show. But would you ever consider having your own reality show, or would you find that too intrusive? It's kind of similar to what we were talking about earlier.